How you going, everyone? You got Cade, Sarge, Robbo, Blair, and Dr. Bob today. And I'm still turning the bowl because I had the resin.
I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so.
And Robbo's running away. It's camera shy today, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, he hasn't had his hair and makeup crew here, so he's had to go.
What is
I can safely say that. I can safely say that with his headphones off. You see? No.
And Sarge got the duck again.
Yeah.
We need to get it paid. That way he won't have a duck or any duck.
Oh, yeah. Hang on a sec, Sarge, all right?
Go back up there.
No. He's not there, so fair's fair, right? If someone walks off for long periods, then that's where they end up.
The duck box.
All right, so
if it's a female duck, it'd be a hen's nest.
I got this to start off with today.
The C word.
It's all right. Only because of the resin layer there that I want to try and knock back a little bit.
Cool. Is that green?
No, not at all.
Bone dry?
Yeah. But it's got lots of green mold, I suppose, is about the only word I could use.
Yeah. Some spalting?
Sorry?
Spalting or just mold on the surface?
It's done spalting and molding a little bit.
Oh yeah. There you go. Call that one the green machine.
Yeah. The green salad bowl.
Oh, looks like it holds a bottle of wine.
Oh, it's a little bit bigger than that. Sorry?
Careful that crack that goes past down pretty much the whole length of the bowl.
It's 3 days old now, Cade, and it's had half of this tube squeezed into it on the first day and the second day, and then yesterday I put all that resin in there. So hopefully I've done a good enough job, and and all the way across the bottom as well, the crack opened up about quarter of a centimetre, and I filled that with resin yesterday as well.
Okay, cool. That's good. That's at least a little bit of an insurance premium. Should
I'm trying
hold together there.
Because what happened yesterday was this crack here, and then this one that runs all the way around it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, could actually grab it and wobble it like that, you see. So this is all filled in now with Gorilla Super Gel Glue and red gum shavings.
Oh, okay. Nice.
All the way through to the inside there, so it's solid. Hopefully it's a little bit more solid.
Yeah, it should help.
I could hear it vibrating. So that's what made me stop initially, because the sound changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's best to have a look when the sound changes.
Yeah, for sure. And if anything does happen or you hear it starts to wobble, you can always use cellophane or saran wrap the outside of it. It'll at least hold it together from exploding. Or duct tape. I've used that before too.
I'm kind of hoping all the resin and stuff I've put in there should hold it for me. But that's a last-ditch effort I could try.
Yep.
How you going, Amy?
Sweet.
All right, I'm going to put myself on mute.
Who's going to watch chat tonight?
I will.
I was going to say I can too.
Yeah, just everybody.
Yeah.
I can pop in and out, but no, I'll probably hit the wrong button and pull a cage, so you might see me come and go.
Then you get the duck.
Duck, duck, goose. Flopping in and out of the... Was that your makeup light?
And Jade, that light's like right in the middle of the camera.
Mm-hmm. That's better.
There you go.
Sweet. Yep.
Hey!
I can see. I can see.
Yeah, but a little birdie flew by.
I wouldn't angle that up too much. I'd use it flat on the tool rest or angled downwards.
John N is in the chat. Hi, John.
Hey, John.
What did you say then, Cade? Sorry?
I said I wouldn't angle your carbide tool up like that, up the sidewall too much, because the angle on the carbide cutter is too aggressive. If you get a dig in, good luck holding on to the tool, or that bowl will blow up. I would use the carbide tool flat across the tool rest, cutting at center, or the tool rest slightly above center and cutting down at center. That way, if you do get a catch, it will be far less aggressive.
Always thought it was better to have it on a slight angle like that.
Yeah, that
No?
would be a shear scrape, yeah. But you
Yeah.
don't want it angled up into the timber where it can catch right into that carbide. You would want it sort of flat and angled downwards. Yeah, like that. And then you can tilt it at, say, a 30 degree to give that carbide cutter that angle you want. I've seen people angle it up too much.
Hey?
And they get a catch. I've seen people angle it up too much, and it broke their tool rest and the tool and the bowl limp line.
Hey, Blair, you got a message in the chat or question.
What was that, Sarge?
Sarge, what did you say?
I said Blair's got a message in the chat or a question.
Oh. So my wife and I, unfortunately, she had to work on Valentine's Day. I had to work the day before. So we didn't really do anything on that day, but before then, we went to a hoity-toity restaurant that is called the Melting Pot. So basically, it's fondue with cheese, and they give you all different kinds of meat and stuff like that. And it was really, really good, and we had a good time, and she was beautiful, and it was awesome. Thank you for asking, Amy.
Where was that? Where are you located? Is that the one in Banff?
No, it's in Utah.
Oh, okay. I went to the one in Banff years ago. We were out west visiting family and doing a tour around, but went to the one in Banff, and like you said, it was a fondue restaurant. The food was absolutely awesome, and they had a exotic meat package. So of course I had to try something different. I got the exotic meat package, which was a mix of kangaroo, rattlesnake, alligator, venison, bison, frog legs, and ostrich, and deer.
Wow.
It was quite good.
Howdy, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Welcome, buddy.
How you going, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. I'm back. Hello, Amy. Hello, John.
Back.
Anybody else that's come in while I've been away?
Quick, stop talking about him. He's back.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry, I'll play it back and find out.
And see, we have a restaurant here that they claim to be Brazilian called Rodizio Grill. And they do all of that exotic meat, and they bring it out on a skewer, and that's how they cook it. And that they just keep bringing whatever out, and yeah, it's really interesting but tasty.
That's cool. Yeah, it was pretty good.
When
It
I
had
worked
all
in
kinds of different
DC,
flavors.
we had one that was just in Northern Virginia like that, but you had to have reservations. It was so busy.
Yeah, this one did too. It was so busy.
Kate Amy says, "Wow, Kate, that's different for sure."
Yeah. I like trying different stuff. Shark's good.
Oh,
Shark's good too.
shark is a common one down in Australia. They call it flake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very dense steaks. Very filling. It's good.
I'll tell you the craziest thing I ever ate was when I was in Africa and we had zebra on the buffet.
Huh. That'd be different. I've never had a horse. But I've had bear. Bear tastes like garbage. Well, it depends what bear. That's all they eat. Dead carcasses and bear and garbage. Unless you get a grizzly up north in the Yukon or something.
Here's the stereotype. You have moose all the time, don't you, Cade?
Oh yeah, moose is quite tasty. Takes a big bullet to take one of them down, though. Yeah, moose is good.
I've never had it. I'd like to try it.
Yeah, it's good. It's gamey. It's maybe... well, if you had venison, it's a little more gamey than venison, but not as bad as, like, bear, I guess. But...
Uh-oh, what happened?
Someone pulled a Cade. Oh, no, we're all here.
The only one that shut down his camera was Jay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened.
He might be swearing at it.
Probably found another crack, or a crack blew up on him.
Blew up, took out the camera. Hope not.
No, it didn't take out the camera. He shut it off. But
yeah.
Oh.
Jay, come back to us. You can't leave us in the dark, man. There we go.
Well, it's still on the live, so that's something.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Yeah, it looks about the same as far as the basic shape.
No, it's knackered. It's stuffed. It broke. The side broke. The whole side of it broke.
Ah.
Oh.
I just haven't actually just gone snap and snapped it off completely. That's all.
Whoa, there's a plane going through the roof.
Oh, yeah. So maybe what you're saying, Jay, is that wood wants to be a flower pot. And you might just want to stop.
Yeah, it's knackered. Yeah.
Either a flower pot or mulch for the garden.
It's going to be something, all right.
That's what you call a fully floating bowl.
How big's the hole in the side? Can you fill it with epoxy or wrap it in saran wrap? And
well, I could mostly try wrapping it in plastic wrap, but I don't know. Even Amber noticed the noise change when I was coming up the wall.
Yeah,
it's got really bad. So I don't know how much tool work that there's actually going to handle anymore, because all the wood shavings and super glue and stuff that I put in there is all shaking out, quite literally.
Wow.
And with the crack, it's out of balance, so you'll be hitting certain
Yeah.
walls better than the other.
Well, like it is in the first, we've all had stuff like that happen many times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
happens.
it's like the soap opera as the bowl turns.
It happens in flatwoods too.
So
I don't know any turner that doesn't have a group of pieces that they put a lot of work into and they can't throw it away, but it's somewhere hidden in the under a lathe.
We're up
No.
on the shelf somewhere.
I go and pick up the biggest chisel I've got and beat them to death.
Well, then
I
they
was
become good
about whacking it with a
firewood.
hammer. I was thinking about whacking that bit with a hammer.
Why not
Yeah,
take
that
the anger
usually
out on it?
works. When all else fails, hit it with a hammer.
That's right. If that fails, get a bigger hammer.
That's what I was going to say, but I had to unmute myself first, and he beat me to it.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, here. Almost hit the wrong button. Cool. Oh, snap. Just like that.
Well, Jay, you could turn it into a yarn bowl for knitting 1-inch rope.
Yeah.
1 inch.
He's right quite Pacific there with that, wasn't he?
You've got to have a sense of humour about these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take your Dremel and dig you out a swirl in there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Little
I don't
baby.
know, from where I sit, where you put the key in for the chuck looks like an eye, and the rest is like a big mouth. Maybe,
Yeah, I see it too.
you know,
It looks like
some sea monster.
the whale head off of SpongeBob.
Moby Dick.
Yeah. You got the eye and the big mouth.
Yeah.
What? Who's got a big mouth?
We all do.
You don't see it, Cade? The hole where the key goes in is the eye.
All the way at the
And the
headstock.
jaw is coming
Oh, yeah.
out towards you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Whale opening his mouth.
Yep.
Mr. Crab's daughter. Hello, Amber.
Some good meditation we're on. tonight.
She didn't realise that my microphone was off mute. You see?
What's your next piece of wood you got?
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
plan on
let me
doing
feel
another
another
piece, to
piece
be
on-
honest.
Well, you must have something laying around. Let's be creative as a group.
I got plenty lying around. I don't know if it's worthy for live TV. But
Sure
Oh,
it
they're
is.
all worthy.
Just remember the group you have here. Does it matter?
Yeah.
all right.
Amy says hi, Amber.
Hello, Amy.
Yeah, and she's just read Blair's title under his thingo too. I think he might have been eating chili beans or something like that.
So if you guys have ever watched a show called Friends,
Yeah.
he sings a song called Smelly Cat. And for some reason, that's been on my brain today. So
Oh, here we go.
And I was going to say, you look like, what's his name? Joey.
how
Yeah.
you doing?
How you doing?
He's my favorite. That dude makes me laugh. They wrote him so well.
Oh, yeah.
I understand one of the things that made the show so successful from some of the stuff they've done after the show discussing comedy is that every character, there's multiple writers, and different writers wrote for different characters because they could become the character themselves. And often it was two or three different people that they know or that they know from screen or whatever make a composite character. So they're writing on this artificial character that they've created in their mind, and then they generate the one you see on screen. And it's intriguing often once you know some of the tricks they use is did that really happen? You know, and it's intriguing to do that. And you listen to some of these comedians that'll actually talk about on different programs about where they get their inspiration from. It's always from somebody else or a couple of people for different people that they create. And I think that's so important. And as woodturners or as artists, we do the same thing often. We see something and a couple of things that we see in our life or around the house or whatever, and that's the next thing we want to build on. But it's not a copy of it. It's just something that's stuck in our head, and that's part of creativity.
Three
It's
fingers,
really nice to see it.
Three fingers.
Tequila. Yeah, 3 fingers. Oh, a little bit more here.
Three and a half.
Well, Sarge, you should have some around. Why don't you take a break?
No, I'm out. I'm out. But usually I'll fill this much up and then fill the rest with a can of Coke in my other cup.
Used to. Being a diabetic, that's just a no-no.
Right. Hey, Kate, Amy says that you and me look related side by side.
Oh, yeah. Could be. No. I don't know. Probably not.
At least third cousins, twice removed.
Right.
Yeah. We apparently have a couple Dopplers in the world.
Right.
Yeah, those poor guys. For me, anyway.
You're right. Same here. Poor sucker.
John said he'll be back in a little bit. Must be horse time.
Time to milk the chickens.
Yeah, right.
Cade must be on the hard stuff. He's having a coffee with an ice cream chaser or something by the look of it.
You missed the rest of it.
Yeah.
A&W mixed with it. And of course the cat. Every time I get the ice out to make a drink, the cat has to have an ice cube.
Really? That's
Wow.
funny.
Yeah. He doesn't like cat treats, doesn't like human food, but every time I make a drink or put ice in my water or whatever, it's like, I don't know, like crack to him. He has to have an ice cube.
Has he ever tried catnip?
Yeah, he's not fond on that either, surprisingly enough.
I knew a dog that you couldn't put water in his bowl. It had to be sweet tea. That's all the dog would drink. Sweet tea.
Sweet
Wow.
During the summer when it really
There's
gets
a better
hot
view
here.
of it. There's a better view of it, Amy.
There you go. Mr.
And then on the back,
I remember
good.
that character.
That was
I remember
given
that
to me.
character from.
Yeah, that was given to me by my grandchildren. That's what they think of me.
See, they thought it said Grampy, not Grumpy.
Yeah, no. They knew what it meant. But the funny part about it is if something goes wrong, who's the first person they come and see?
Mhm.
Me.
Right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's the problem about age. Or if there's a feud between grandkids, then they come and ask me to settle it.
I know. They know I'm non-judgmental and don't give them a hard time. They can tell me anything they like. And I don't get upset.
Yeah, I've been that way. Though I do get mad at times. Doing snow today, the 14-year-old, he's never done heavy snow because the weather has been on the cycle where it's getting worse every year. And I was the only one here, he and I told him we got to go get the snow, and we had a good foot and a half of it, but it was dry snow, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it was like he does the side of the driveway, and then not thinking, I asked him, why do you start on the side instead of down the middle? Because the snow gets piled on right there. Yes. And then to just, okay. And then he starts in the middle, and I say, but now you're moving the snow twice. What do you mean? Because you put it right back where you just shoveled. You go down the middle first, then you shovel to both sides. It's because there's too much snow, and he's not big enough yet to be able to pick up a big shovel and toss it 10 foot.
I don't know. I was 8 years old and I was using a grain shovel and picking up 8-inch wet snow up in Iowa.
Yeah.
Out of driveways and stuff like that and chunking it as hard as I could. And hope and pray didn't have no ice in it.
I had to do
I
that
agree.
too.
They should have done it much before this, but it's just, I don't know. I do know, but I can't say.
Right.
I'm afraid if it was me, I'd be buying a bloody bobcat or something to get down there.
We haven't had snow like this in a good 8 to 10 years. But the weather cycle's changing. And the cold is moving farther south. Alaska is melting in a lot of places that never had melt before near the Arctic Circle. Big chunks of ice, freshwater ice, are melting off. And so is the South Pole having the same trouble.
So, Jay, what are we doing there? I thought that might have been the case.
The yarn bowl. That's the only thing I can think of.
Cade, you got a question in the comments if you can read it?
Oh, what projects do I got on the cards? I can show you a few things.
I'm
just
teaching the
about to
bowl a
finish on a few
lesson,
things.
okay? I don't know what I'm doing to it, but I'm teaching it a lesson.
Ah, right, okay.
Teaching it a lesson not to mess with me, man. I'll mess you up.
I will break you.
And if I don't, I'll send the boys around. They'll fix you up.
Ooh,
Nah.
mafia.
I was going to say the only other suggestion I would have would be to have Amber just burn it on the outside.
I'll burn it. I'll get the pleasure in doing that at least.
You don't have to get that attached.
Some Jiffy firelighters in there, set them alight, See who wins.
Who
When
wins
the
what?
fire brigade comes to put the
Who
house
wins?
out.
I'll see if the Jiffy firelighter lasts longer than the bit of wood that I put it in.
Oh, here. All right. Well, let me see. What do I have here? Here's a bird mouth hollow form over here.
You got a washing machine.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
Wow.
Wow.
What wood's that?
This is red maple, and it has the pith in it. It was turned wet, so it was round, but then when it warped a heart shape.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very good.
And I have a series of them. I have all primary colors. So here's the red. Here's a smaller, more stout one, which is yellow. It's a set. And then I have another one here, which is blue.
Oh, really stands out, that blue,
And
doesn't it?
this one here, which is black.
It's beautiful, Kate.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Where do you get your creativity for that as a set?
I don't know. I'm constantly coming up with ideas and thinking of stuff. And I mean, wife and I will be having dinner or we'll be in a total conversation and I'll just all of a sudden, and she'll be like, what? I'm like, oh, I just got a great idea I'm making tomorrow. But I don't know, Google different ideas and then I modify it sort of to make it my own sort of tweak on it.
That's good, Jay.
Did anyone see that abomination?
Yeah,
No one's seen that?
nice.
All right, cool. I want that.
You talking
Some
about
boxes
the
upstairs.
cut that
I'll
you
show
did?
later.
Kate, what did you use for a finish on the outside?
The finish is tongue oil.
That's it?
Yeah.
Resin?
Tongue oil.
Tongue oil. Oh, Cade, Amber wants to know, you said tongue oil, and she said, did he lick it?
No, tongue oil it's like extracted from cow tongues. Did you know that, Jay?
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Have a guess where Aussie oil comes from.
Yeah, where's that come
Kangaroos or koalas or wallabies?
from?
Comes from their
Yeah.
penile gland.
That's when the vet drains the gland.
Yeah.
Why it's so expensive?
Anyway,
I mean,
so
That's a
That's
nice, but to make them all so as they warp, that's, a technique. But to have each one a different color, did you have all that in your mind before you started? Or did it develop as you went along?
It developed as I went along. In the beginning, I was going to leave them sort of plain. I mean, turn them all wet to the same wall thickness to avoid cracking. And of course, they'll warp and move, but then that gives it the oval shape or the heart shape or
Right.
more character. But yeah, I didn't plan on painting it or texturing it in the beginning until they were actually all done. And I probably put on the first couple base coats. And then I thought, it's sort of plain old maple with, nice caramel white wood with brown accents and knots and stuff. But it's not as spectacular as some wood. So I guess we don't want it to make it, I don't know, give it some color or some character.
So it developed.
Yeah, throughout the thing, throughout the process of making it, as it dried, as I put the first couple coats on it, and then figured, maybe I'll paint these and do some sort of set. So next ones I might do different colors or different combinations, but yeah,
But that would be duplicating what you have developed as a series. And then you'll probably have the same thing to develop something else and then modify it to make it a series.
yeah. It'll be another
That's-
bird mouth hollow form, but it would be accented in a different way to make it a different series, so to speak.
I've been told that that's the trait of a true artist in old style, like for painters. They pick up something idea and you can see it evolve through their paintings over years. And then all of a sudden they'll change and do the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's something that is a gift. It's not taught. Because when it is taught, a lot of people don't listen to it, I understand. My sister is an artist, and she's done the same thing, gone through multiple mediums. And now it's on cake decorating. But and she's a restorationist, that the Smithsonian approves, and the Metropolitan Museum in New York. She teaches there. So she knows what she's doing in art, but I find that very interesting how creative people think. It's not necessarily linear.
Yeah.
Hey, Cade, like you said, you were just sitting around and all of a sudden an idea pops in your head. Well, before, what was it, 2, 3 weeks ago, we went down to Louisiana for Mardi Gras. And before we went, I had already cut out the heart basket. And Sean Cousins gave me the idea of putting the lid on there, how to do it. So I did that, and I didn't have a knob or a handle or anything to pull it off. The whole time I was down there, I couldn't wait to get home because I had the idea of that heart that I used out of my mother silhouette, where I beveled the sides on it and everything, so give it a little bit of texture. It's amazing how sometimes ideas just pop in your head randomly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's great. Sometimes I'm on vacation or visiting family and I can't get to my lathe for a week or two, and it's like, oh, you might have saw something on TV or a show or nature or a new shape on a fender or anything, right? You might see anything in your daily life that might inspire you and be like, oh, that's a cool shape. How can I incorporate that into something or some sort of series?
I used to watch a lot of older films, and occasionally I'd be watching it, and then suddenly, oh, look at that staircase, because all my work's mainly spindle work. I love the shape of those spindles there, and I'll freeze it and get a screenshot of it and copy it.
Yeah.
Because I have customers come in and say, oh, we want something a little bit different, I say, yeah, rightio. Have a look at these pics. Oh, yeah, I like that one. Then I've got to sit down and work out how to do it.
And Robbo, I drive my wife nuts because we're watching a show and I'll pause something and there's like a vase or, some piece of art or something like that in the background. It's like, I could do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah. I used to love wandering through museums looking at Etruscan art and Roman art and Greek art and stuff like with their urns and things like that, just for bowl shapes. And,
I do that too.
And
so do I.
Believe it or not, perfume bottles in supermarkets or in perfumeries, because they have shapes that appeal to people, to sell them.
Yeah, just like Robo, I look back through history and all the different areas throughout history, and like the different areas like Rome and Egypt and all their different bowl hardware and vase hardware and goblets and chalices and all the different shapes they've used.
Yep.
And yeah.
And just to answer John, yeah, I've been in some ripper places that have had some fantastic woodwork in them, John.
Yeah,
I like Japanese. I like Japanese style and Chinese style of building, where they use wedges and tenons and things like that.
Right.
Made quite a lot of furniture like that.
Furniture,
And
houses,
architecture.
cathedrals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Architectural.
not cathedrals, but architecture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
This
that's
is sort of
pretty too,
Asian
Kate.
inspired. It's a live edge bowl with an Asian flair.
Yeah.
John, if you send me a message in Facebook, then I can put the link up on the chat if you like.
John's got a wrench. He can put his link in the comment as long as it's not bad.
Yeah.
You can put it in Facebook, I think. I don't think in YouTube at least. I don't think you can put it in here. Anyway, we'll try it and see.
I mean, either way, but I'm just saying I seen that he's got a wrench by his name there in the.
He's got
chat.
has he? Rightio.
Yeah.
Well, he can put a link in that. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the StreamYard chat.
I know it. I usually put both of them up.
I've got the other one up, but it's on another page. So yeah, you can just put the link straight in, John, in Facebook.
YouTube.
And YouTube at least.
I always forget to put the Facebook side up, but I just from the StreamYard and the YouTube I usually have open.
Yeah.
Robo, when you said perfume bottles, my wife's got a heart that the lid to it is on the base, and it's got some sweet texture to it.
Oh yeah.
It'd be good for a carver.
Egyptian style perfume bottles. Or Persian perfume bottles. They're really curvy. Nice shapes.
Yeah, speaking of photos and things, I've had some interesting ones brought in of balustrading on staircase work, and one of the most interesting ones was a woman brought in this thing, and she'd covered up the bottom of the photo, just showing the staircase, And I thought, me being curious, I thought, wonder why she's covered the bottom of it. Must have been out of a porn film, I think. So I asked her, I said, you get inspiration? Oh, she said, yes, yep.
That's great.
I said, why didn't you just cut it off rather than? She said, I just wanted to see if you'd resist opening it up to have a look.
I about 10 years ago was helping a person clean out a house where their parents had lived, and I forget, one of them had just passed away, and the other one was going to live with his sister out of state. But the family house had to be cleaned out. And the father was a woodworker, all hand. I mean, and he had wood planes. I mean, that they were going to throw all that stuff away. And no. We packed it all up, and it went to an auction. And he made something like $22,000 out of just wood planes and some old ship auger bits and drills. But what I got out of it, I was told anything I wanted because I worked for a couple of days boxing it and saying what should be saved, in my opinion, is that I got a whole set of books that were catalogs from a company in Chicago that did nothing but professionally make woodwork, chimney faces or fireplace faces. You buy them as a kit, or you buy the individual pieces. They were for architects. They could quote something and say, this is what it's going to look like, and they could trace. The book was set up so it was only on one side, printed, so they could put it down, put a light under, and trace it out and claim that that's what they're going to put in the house when they make the house. that was their marketing, and the book was a crude loose leaf style, but they had nut and bolt that went through them to hold them together. And they had over 700 pages of stuff that you could make, and it showed dimensions on them. And this was stock size, and if you wanted it different, what it would cost by the man hour. And they showed a picture of the factory in the catalog. It was a 3-book set. And it was in Chicago, and it was like 11 stories high and a full city block. And it handled all the rough lumber, came in by train on the first floor. And they took care of everything in the building to make these pieces that, as a builder, I could claim, look what I made for your house. But it all came in kit form from this company. And they had a lot, it was all belt driven. At the time, they were making all the machinery and the people there. I just couldn't believe it. Some of the intricacies that they would come up with. That you wanted this type of trim around it, okay, we'll make that kind of trim. Everything from doors to anything to decorate the inside of a room, heat ducts, you name it. They were all wood. They made them. And to me, that was a great pattern book because they showed you the blow up in other volumes of the stuff that they had. You'd look it up and they actually showed it so you could trace it onto your drawing that you gave to the client.
Yeah, no, I've got a couple of old catalogues here that I use occasionally for various things, and old photographs.
I'd never seen anything like it before until I cleaned his house out. And well, I can't really say that. My grandfather, who taught me, and great-grandfather, they were Masons in the Masonic Lodge, and they had books like that. But I was never allowed to look at them because I wasn't a member, and that was all
Classified
very
information.
confidential. Yeah. And he kept them under lock and key in the corner of his shop, in where his desk was in drawing area. But he'd have them out at times, and he'd go pointing at, this is what you need. Like I had to do balls. There were certain chairs that had to have balls on the end of the spindles, on the end of the legs, so they were elevated above the floor. That was the effect. And I had to be able to turn perfect spheres. But each sphere had its own tool. And the tool was basically a pipe with a handle out the back of it, coming out the back of the, but it was a pipe, and they sharpened the edge all the way around. And you had that was the final trim to make the ball. You had to turn it, and that you could use it to get the final trim, but you didn't dare put the whole thing against it. If you did,
No, Bob.
you end up getting hit.
No, Bob. No. That idea was invented by an American about 15 years ago. You ask him.
Now, it was that was in my great-grandfather's shop. As a kid, I was able to hold them.
Oh, no, look, there's nothing new in wood turning. That's the whole point. That hasn't been done before.
Yep. Oh, I'm serious. I'm sure. But I'd never seen them until then. And then I was told I had to swear in the Bible I wouldn't tell anybody what they were and what they were for. Because that was a secret tool.
Wow, John, now that's a house. Good heavens. John put a link of that house. Yes, he's working on.
No, that he was thinking of buying it. He's put an offer on it.
My wife would die. She would just be happier than, I mean, with all of that wood and the Victorian and wow.
Almost like a castle.
I like the stained glass windows. They look fantastic.
All of the woodwork in there is just amazing.
Making those curved bloody thingos on the windows, that'd be a great test of your patience, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, the
You'd
stained
need-
glass
you'd need
is something else.
You'd need a maid to look after it, John.
Man, look at that table.
Amber said her bags are packed. She's on her way, John.
What's she applying for the maid's job, is she?
Fine for the whatever's going as long as you can live in that house job.
So, Cade, let me pick your brain a little bit. Those pieces that you're doing and you're just using tung oil, I mean, how much are you sanding up to? What grit?
This is 800 grit.
And then
And
after
that's
800 grit, then you just coat it. How many coats of the tung oil?
Just keep going until you're happy with the shine. I like using oil finishes because I can control the sheen. I can do a matte, semi-matte, semi-gloss, a glass finish, all just by building up the layers and really sanding and buffing in between.
Right?
It's
I'm
almost
gonna
like,
have to do that.
yeah, it's a time-consuming finish, but it's a very durable, shiny type finish.
Man, did y'all
John
see
with-
that staircase?
Yeah, I was
The
just
double
looking at
staircase?
that gorgeous.
John, I think you could start a harem in there by the look of the offers you've got already.
But when I turn on the lathe,
What?
the maximum amount of sanding I do on most of my work is 220. Unless I'm feeling overzealous, I might go 320 or 340. But I very rarely go above that because any finish is going to be smoother than that anyway. Then you can sand and buff your finish. Otherwise, really, you're just wasting your time at the lathe.
And it depends on the finish you're going to put onto it too, if it's a surface coating or a penetrating coating.
Yes, that's true too. Yeah.
Like around our place, I got to say, if it don't come out of a gun, it don't get done.
This is a piece from my last demo I did. It's a thin wall live edge bowl turned to probably just under 1/8 of an inch.
Wow.
All the way down. It's apple. It's torched and dyed just to accent the wood grain. And that still needs a couple coats of finish. You can see how glossy that is. It's not quite there. I need to be able to see myself in here and shave.
I'm gonna
Does
have
that
to
mean that your vein does it, Cade?
Pardon?
Does that mean that you are vain? That you like to see yourself in the finish?
No. Just has to be shiny enough to see yourself in it. That's sort of my signature finish. Unless the customer asks differently, of course the customer is
You don't-
right?
You don't have to ask. You don't have to answer this one, Cade. But how much do you charge for one of those bowls?
One like this,
Yeah.
depending on the wood, 150 to 200 bucks.
Yep. Nice.
At least you got a market for it.
Yeah.
Where do you
That's
sell
the
them?
big problem.
Just online, or do you have a shop?
A couple places online, on my website, word of mouth, through my Facebook. I have a couple of shops that carry my stuff, and I'm also in a few galleries that carry my stuff.
Yeah,
And
that's the big
you
thing.
have to-
Once they're in,
do you have to consign it, do you, Cade, or do they buy it outright?
It depends on the gallery. Some are consigned, and some are they'll buy it at a wholesale rate and then mark up to what they want. So I just have a production day. I have my base price that I can wholesale for, or my retail price if it's consignment.
Yeah, I had a wholesale, like when I was supplying galleries around here, I used to have a wholesale price and a retail price, and they could make up their own minds which way they wanted to go. I always preferred them to buy it at the wholesale price. Then they could put whatever price they wanted on it.
Yeah, same.
By the same token, if the public saw one of my pieces, I was one of the few people around our area that could put my name and address on and phone number on things, because the owners of the galleries knew that if somebody rang me, I would quote them exactly the same price as what they had it in their shop for.
Yeah, you have to be the same across the board.
Yeah.
Sort of. They can't go to one store and see your stuff and it's like garage sale price, and then go in another store and it's 3 times the price. I'll be
That's
like,
right. If they want to,
the artist or the store.
yeah, if they want to jack the price up above my retail price, that was their business.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. But they would always still have my information. They can check out the stuff and get it at my price too, if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But
Amy says the seashell bull.
Which seashell?
That last one you showed looked like a seashell.
Oh yeah. I can't pick it up now. I just put a coat of finish on the outside, but I have a couple more here from my demo. I have a red one, a green one, a natural one. Let me see. Here's a small yellow one, which was sort of the tester for that one. Totally different wood. Tiny.
Wow.
That's poplar. The other yellow one was apple. But, I mean, the smaller ones, I mean, they're more affordable. People want to support the artist, get a small one if they can't afford the bigger ones. And it's basically using my scrap branches that no one else can use unless you're making pens.
There's one for the night.
Cade!
Uh-oh, out the doll comes.
Another nail in the hole.
I have nothing against pens. People can turn pens all they want. I no comment. I mean, I used to turn a lot of pens because they're great and they sell at the festivals, and the price you pay for them and the markup you can make on them is great. But then I got just a little too busy with other stuff, and pens got a little monotonous and repetitive for me. So
yeah. And John N says they were converting that house into a bed and breakfast.
Oh, what money they could get out of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It becomes a destination.
Well, it depends on what sort of tenants you get sometimes, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Well, it's the manager. Yeah. That's what it depends on. The manager and the cook as a bed and breakfast, because in a house like that, it's a destination.
See, something like that, if, John, you do Airbnb, you know, you list that, people stay there for however long. If they do damage something or whatever, Airbnb ends up paying for it, and they charge whoever was there.
Yeah.
So you're kind of safe, but yeah, that would be brilliant.
Yeah. The
Another
credit card retainer will save you on those damages your tenants create.
Another
Correct.
use too for a house like that. I've been to a few that we have here in Michigan, whether they're out of business now because of COVID, but they become a destination for big old houses like that because Michigan's had a few of them. We had a lot at one time, the early auto industry. But there's one that people book ahead of time, almost a year, and it's for a drama. You end up going and you have your coffee. It's a murder mystery. And as part of it is a ride by a steam train that actually takes you to the place after about an hour and a half on a steam train. And then they bring you back the next day. You have a full day and a night there. And there's always a murder mystery. I've been to a couple of them, and it is fantastic. You don't know who did it, and some of the guests are part of the actors, but you don't know who they are. They're just guests, and they play it to the hilt. I remember
Amy, you are evil.
the first murder mystery. After dinner, one of the guests went to have a smoke because they didn't allow smoking inside. It had to be out in the smoking room, which was off the porch. And we went out to see what was going on, and he was hanging by a rope from his neck. And the mystery started. It was a whodunit. And it was a ball. And it was like $400 for the weekend for a couple.
Wow.
They made a killing out of it. $400, and that was a couple to a room.
And
the local drama group did it.
That's cool.
you know, Amy said that the house could be used as a brothel. She couldn't help herself.
There you go.
And John said that was definitely a good one, Amy. And speaking of that, a friend and I were going to convert a B double. Now, for those of you that in America that don't know, a B double out here is two semi trailers joined together, right? They've got a main the main semi trailer, or an 18-wheeler you call them, and then another trailer behind. So they're a B double. We were going to convert one to go into all the mining towns. A friend and I were going to convert one to being a brothel, to go around all the mining towns in Western Australia and North Queensland and that. Only problem was the bottom fell out of the coal mining market, so that kind of got shelved. We have some good ideas sometimes, my mates and I, when we're sitting around having cups of tea.
What was in the tea?
Just tea.
Magic tea.
Oh, I know. We used to make tea like that when I was in college, and the leaves were kind of green.
No, nothing like that. Good old Tetley English breakfast.
Oh, we didn't care what country it was grown in.
No, well,
Some of the best we got was out of Canada.
yeah, deals on wheels. That's it, Amy. Oh, in some cases, it could have been meals on wheels.
As long as they had snacks to go with them.
Oh, yeah. No, we had a bar and everything worked out in it.
Munchies.
Yes, you'd need the munchies after drinking the tea. And then you charge more for the munchies.
Kate, do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I do. It's Cade Bolger wood turner. I have one video visible. I have 2 private videos, but I'm going to be doing more videos lately, or in the near future. I haven't been too active on it lately, but I will be.
You should be doing some lives and stuff like that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
those
that'd be cool.
Those little bird mouth bowls and stuff like that. I'd love to see how you do it.
Oh, okay. I am doing online remote demos and stuff, but most of them are like pay-per-views, similar to what Pat Carroll and Cindy Draws to do. But I do have the odd freebie. I don't think I can make any more big life decisions. But yeah, my YouTube was going to be the teaser videos for all my.
Sorry, who's got a TV or a wireless card?
If you heard me.
Nope, didn't hear a word.
I said, yeah, that'd be cool. I could probably do a couple lives. I haven't done any lives yet. I am currently doing live interactive remote demos through my website and through a couple other different wood turning organizations, but I have done some freebies too. But yeah, I'll have to get doing more videos on YouTube or the lives. I was talking to Jay about StreamYard the other day. Is it easy to use and whatnot? But I mean, I could always easily just record it on my OBS and stuff and then stream it and platform it to YouTube like I do with my IRDs.
Yeah, StreamYard's free too for the small group. And the neat thing about it is that you can, like Jay does, just pick some people, and you don't have to go live with it. You can pick people to actually do your beta testing.
Sarge, can you mute yourself, please?
Yeah, I already have all my setups for my cameras, and I run them all sort of within my own production.
Well, it'll output to StreamYard. That's not
Also,
a problem.
Also, too, Cade, it does actually run better on a computer than it does on a phone. So if you're going to do a StreamYard of any description, you're better off on the computer, definitely.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought so, because that's how I do all my Zooms and OBSs and all my streaming through those. It's all through my laptop. Yeah, that would be true. I'll have to maybe download it and start playing with it. But
It is free.
yeah, I'm sure I could probably get away with it just using OBS and Zoom too, and just recording it through that platform and putting it up on YouTube. That would be free for me because it's already a business write-off for my demos.
Yeah, it fits perfectly with OBS. I have friends that I know that are doing it all the time because OBS is just a background. In fact, on YouTube, there's a lot of stuff under the StreamYard group of how to integrate OBS and things that you can do because people are finding that it's a great item, and they say it's free.
No,
So, Jay, what plans do you have for that log?
Honestly, only time I would recommend OBS is when if you've got enough time to sit and fiddle around with the millions of settings that are in it. But if you don't want to, then StreamYard, or there's another one called Restream.
I've been watching all the tutorials and webinars and stuff, so I'm pretty confident in using OBS well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but OBS
it is a headache to get started because it's like a labyrinth maze of stuff you can do and finding what to use to do what you want to do. But once you figure out that labyrinth maze out, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I've got better things to do than to be worrying about where a bloody setting is or what's wrong. So that's why I use StreamYard. It's so much easier.
They have all the how-to videos on YouTube though too. So I get all frustrated and then I'd watch YouTube for a couple hours and then go back to it.
Nah,
I know that feeling.
I'm not interested in it, to be honest. It's too much hard work. I've got better things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm amazed at what that technology has come down to with OBS, because I have worked so much in TV in my life, and production switchers, stuff like that, and
Yeah, OBS was pretty
worked
good.
on just a ton of it, because that's something I've always liked. I did a lot of actual film, and then moved over to TV, and it would cost them, $500,000 to $1 million to have a production switcher do what you get free with OBS. And you can pick and choose and custom modify where you'd buy whatever company switcher would do, and you'd pay for each effect that
Yeah,
you wanted.
exactly.
And some effects cost more than others to have put in. And it wasn't software half the time until they come up with the ability to have software do it and do the manipulations.
Yeah, I mean, I could have paid for that Magic Black Box or vMix or all those things, but I mean, then I might have saved some time, but I would have been out a lot more money.
Yeah, vMix
I don't
is a
mind
great
taking the
item.
time to learn something new.
Yeah, I've used vMix before and used it, and it's a good product, but it's for a total different market. It's not made to have all these people coming in to interact with people. It's basically a one-way thing out to the client.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, Dad.
My next demo is on Saturday.
No, I got to get in there. Why, is there a problem?
Someone forgot to flush.
Oh,
I can't hear you. My furnace just came on. Let me see. Turn this up. I'll throw a link into the chat in a few minutes if anyone's interested.
yeah, I think comparing OBS and StreamYard is like comparing a hand crank radio for an emergency. They're totally different things as far as a professional looks at it, because OBS just lets you create the effects and how you get them out, and how you can stack stuff and make the computer a nice big production unit. But as far as the streaming from the cloud, as StreamYard does, it's actually streaming it from a server somewhere in the cloud. With OBS, you're supporting, if you use that straight, you're supporting people off your computer and everyone who wants to connect to it. And that can have a lot of overhead. You still got to have a distribution source, and that's what StreamYard is.
Hey, Kate, Amy said she subscribed to your channel.
Oh, sweet. Thanks. I'll be doing more videos soon. Yeah. Doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to be doing everything.
Yeah, that's so true. And then when you get old like me, you're counting the days that, hey, I woke up another day. That's an achievement.
Yeah, that's always good.
And then today, when I come in from helping and teaching the youngin how to shovel, I felt pretty good with everything. And then I come in, and first thing I sit down, I got my phone going off. I got notifications up on my tablet that my respiration and my pulse are high, out of control. I need to sit down. I didn't know it. I was out shoveling snow. And, you know, hey, so my pulse is 150. You know, it's oops. And then the dumb Fitbit told me I had walked enough today because I've made all the walking that I have to have on a daily basis, and it was only 10 o'clock in the morning. Didn't know it was so much walking. It's supposed to be a mile a day. And that's not outside walk. That's everything from the moment you get up until you go to bed for exercise purposes. Yeah, it's just a problem of becoming an old fart. Never thought about it 10 years ago.
Terry, I sent you a message in private chat for a laugh for later.
I missed the chat here. 20 messages I missed.
Yeah, I put most of them up there.
Oh, there is a video on YouTube comparing OBS and StreamYard. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
have to check that out.
yeah. Y'all were talking, and I was told to mute, so I went ahead and put it in the chat, which is cool. I'm not upset at all. You know, if my TV's
Okay,
still too loud, then I'll stay on mute.
I just copied it. I'll check it out later.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I mean, it's nothing in depth. It's just a basic. But I seen that the other day when I was going through StreamYard instructional videos, and that popped up.
Oh, okay.
So,
They do migrate together fine. I know people that use it.
There's a blast from the past. G'day, my vicarious life. How are you?
How you going, Dan?
hello, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Dan?
Yeah. But you know, OBS is a good head-in for Zoom. That's what our club uses.
Yeah.
Stream.
I can even
Yep.
just stream it to Zoom, do it by myself, and record it and upload it, edit it, upload it. Same sort of thing. You
And
do live
Cade?
Zooms.
Amy wants to know, Cade, whether you like Murdoch Mysteries. It's her favourite TV show.
I don't watch it religiously, but I've seen the odd video or two on the odd episode or two on TV when nothing else was really on. It's not a bad show. It's pretty good.
It's shot near you.
Pardon?
It's shot near you.
Yeah, it is. It's right downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
And all the old, it's actually in the university. That's the Toronto University right downtown in the old part of town. And they're actually using that building because it's from that period.
And then they're using a couple of homesteads, you know, for other buildings for shoots, remote shoots.
Yeah.
I look at it and I see, I know where that's at.
I didn't know exactly which building it was until I had a conference at the university one weekend. And I'm like, oh yeah, this looks kind of familiar.
Yeah, they just lay dirt on the streets to cover the lines, and they've modified the parking meters so they can just pull them out of a socket and pull the street signs out. They block it off, and it becomes a movie studio. One of the
Yep.
most successful things that CBC has ever done. And it's global. I saw it the other day. It was also in French and German now being dubbed. They stick to period. That's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
they
just do not know where the Wright House is that they have as his home. I don't remember ever having or studying it where there was a Wright House around Ontario somewhere. They must go elsewhere to shoot that because the interior of his house is definitely a Wright House, Frank Lloyd Wright House, a Bauhaus.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't see the inside of it, but I seen Franklin Lloyd Wright's house up there on the rock in Wisconsin. That was sweet.
Yeah, they all are. They have a lot of them have tours now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting designer, Frank Lloyd Wright.
No two alike, but still the same.
Right.
Yeah.
And he designed everything from the furniture to the lighting fixtures to the toilets and bathtubs.
Huh.
They were made out of copper. Not the toilets, but the sinks they would do out of copper in some, or custom porcelain, or
They're
stone.
Be a bit cold on the bum having a copper toilet seat, I'd reckon.
Oh yeah, but so how would you like to have it as marble?
Same thing.
Yeah.
It'd be chilly.
You know that's how yodeling started.
That's great.
I hate to make fun of people, but myself, it's all right. I remember when I was young on what we used to call a retreat, religious retreat. When I was in Vietnam, it was just a long weekend. Chaplain we all got together somewhere at a nice hotel in a major city. And ours was Hong Kong, where we flew to. And really nice. I forget the chain it was in, and there was a room. My biggest mistake was this was a French hotel originally. I went into the restroom and I thought, hey, a urinal in the restroom. How neat. Except when I flushed it, I got soaking wet. And I was just, 18 years old. I didn't know the difference. I'd never seen a bidet, didn't know what it was. Never heard of the word before. But boy, did I get laughed at. So did
So not only were you wet behind the ears, now you're wet in the face too.
Yes. And I didn't want to tell anybody. And the thing is nobody, when other chaplain groups were coming, we knew they were going and taking their retreat. We didn't say a word. Nobody did. They deserved what they got. We got it that way too.
Just sit back and watch.
During the North African campaign, soldier boys have been on a long.
I didn't hear that.
Have you decided, Jay, what you're going to make?
He's making a cylinder.
That could be a box, a deep box.
If that's the case, then Kate, I'm finished. There you go, all done. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Yeah, you could do a box. Could do.
We
or a
got to get him
vase.
deep
But-
hollowing tools so he can, because then he could do a pasta holder. I've done a lot of those where you can put spaghetti pasta in and they stand up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When I was designing and building the pasta system, or my deep hollowing system, that's what my tests were, and I think I made like 50 or 60 of them, working on the cutters and how they interchange and how big should the elbows be. And
Amy's on a roll today. She reckons it's going to be a toilet roll holder now.
There you go. The toilet roll holder. A toothpick.
A pillbox.
A little stash box for all those green leaves.
Do a vase. If you're feeling sassy.
Saucy. Oh, I just heard a pin drop. Did you hear that?
well, I just got, Jameson just sent me a link that I really like. I'm an old country western fan. A
Yeah.
Tex Ritter movie, deck of cards. As a kid, I would just sit in front of the boob tube. We just had a small screen, and I'd watch them, or I'd go see them at the movie theater on weekends, where a quarter got you in, and you got a big tub of popcorn and one big drink, and a box of candy, Jujubes or something like that, plus 2 movies. Every Saturday, I could walk to the movie theater from where we lived. It was just down the end of the street and 1 street over.
No, you'd only just fit the cardboard thingos in the middle of that one, Amy.
Shit.
She's trying to cover her bases now. Look at her.
I shall be back shortly. Cup of tea time.
Just fixing to go make some green tea.
Yeah.
No, do the
Mushroom
black tea. Bring out the pirate in you. That's one thing I never could really get into was tea. If I get like a cold or something like that, I'll drink some herbal tea, but it has lots of honey in it and lemon and all of that. But I've never really got the taste of tea.
No,
Well, you need to man up when you get a cold and switch the tea out for something a little bit stronger.
some scotch.
My favorite's
Scotch.
Earl Grey. I love Earl Grey tea.
Yeah, I grew up on Earl Grey teas. My mom, she never drunk coffee. My dad did, but my mom would never drink it, so it was always Earl Grey all over the house. It was either that or in the wintertime, hot chocolate. That's all I was allowed to drink. Now I drink all sorts of stuff. Matter
Yeah,
of
we
fact,
used
I
to
had
get.
green tea last night.
Oh yeah. My mother would get the tea in not the tea bags, but the loose tea. And then she had this thing that looked like an acorn. You screw the top off of, and it was all perforated full of holes. And you'd put the tea leaves in, screw the top on, had a chain and a hook to hang over the side of the cup for brewing loose tea. And I had one of my own, and we had to take care of them, clean them out, so they were ready for tea again. But I still have that little device, but everything's in tea bags today. You can't get the Brits to give you loose tea.
Now we done threw it in the ocean or the harbor already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a long time ago.
There we go.
Dan says I go crazy when I get in a car with my father and he played country western. Laugh out loud. And then he says I just made sweet tea. Amy says I legit wasn't being mean. I seriously meant a base thing to hold the extra rolls. And
Oh,
she
look,
prefers.
Amy, I've got the extra rolls are held here. Thank you very much, though.
And she prefers
No,
hot
it's all right.
chocolate than tea or coffee.
Yeah, that's where I put the hot chocolate and coffee. Thanks. No, that's all right, Amy. You don't have to back out now. It's cool. It's fine. At this point,
It has to be dark chocolate though, with Irish cream creamer.
No, it needs Bailey's in it. That's what it needs.
Yeah. Bailey.
Bailey's Irish cream and marshmallows on top.
That just sounds like dessert, man.
Hey. Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it does.
Speaking of which, my next drink might have to be Bailey's and cream.
Amy says, Jay, me too.
Holy shit. Must have 100 things on here.
So are you coating those all again with tung oil?
Yeah, the inside wasn't quite finished just yet to my liking, but the outside is, so just recoating the inside to give the color a higher shine.
Gotcha. How long does tung oil usually take to dry?
Depending on the season or the temperature or the humidity, it can take 4 hours to 12 hours to dry, and then 24 for a full cure. About 4 to 8 for a second coat. So I can usually maybe do 3 coats a day, depending how late I stay up.
Does your oil have a dryer in it?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
Watco that you're using?
This one is, yeah. The one I used before, I used to use the Minwax one. But I think they changed their formulation of some sort, so it's harder to get up here in Canada because of the VOC content. So Waco works just the same, just as durable, I find.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to get me some. Play around with it.
Yep. Just don't get the pure stuff. Pure tung oil can take weeks, months to dry under certain conditions. So you want the stuff with the dryers and levelers in it. And I mean, once it's past that incubation period, all those levelers and dryers have evaporated. It's just as food safe as the pure.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen pure. I've always seen like the Minwax and the Watco.
Thanks.
See
Thanks
you
for coming.
later, Amy.
Take it easy.
Later, Amy. Take care.
See ya, Amy.
Yeah, you can get
No.
pure at Lee Valley. You can get pure and polymerized at Lee Valley. I don't know anywhere else you can get it unless you order it from Asia somewhere. But yeah, I've always used the polymerized. I ain't got time to wait months for stuff to dry.
Right?
That's the problem that a lot of people have with linseed oil too.
Yeah.
When they
it
try
can take
using
months.
linseed oil.
Yeah. It can take some time to dry.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I prefer tung oil. You can get the same effects with, I mean, teak oil, walnut oil, Danish oil. All the different oils really react the same. It's just what technique you use to acquire the finish you want.
That's one thing I've never done either is just use straight boiled linseed oil.
No, I would never use straight boiled linseed oil?
Yeah.
I've used that before, but it does take time to dry. I usually dilute it 50-50. And then that's usually what I'll wet sand with, or like the first coat just to seal it off the lathe so it climatizes or dries. That's sort of the only thing I use the diluted boiled linseed oil for. Other than, I mean, I have some eggs here. They're not going to be high shine. If so, they'll be coated with linseed oil because I can coat it and throw it in the box till it's dry. I don't have to stick it on pins and stuff to avoid dripping and pooling.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I got an order for a few hundred eggs because Easter's around the corner. Stores are opening up. So I turned a pile of chicken eggs, pheasant eggs, quail eggs, and I actually turned a couple of Vivian hummingbird eggs. They're the smallest bird egg. The smallest bird egg.
One way of using up scraps anyway.
Yeah, well, it's good skew practice.
Exactly.
I do all my eggs between centers.
Same here.
So here's a little... I might actually have to stick these on my bedway and flip my camera around for you to see them. But, yeah, I'll just walk into my shop, set them there, and then you can see actually the size differences, because they're all...
Hey, Kate,
the
you're full screen.
They're all
Kate, use
actual
your screen
size.
so we can see.
All right, here, I'm just going to walk into my shop, better lighting, and I can stick them on my lathe. Come into my little Dexter office here.
Ooh, into the deep dark den.
He goes into a dark room. I was about to say, yeah, that's much better lighting.
Yeah, right.
Right, there we are.
Pitch black.
I like the plastic lining.
Let me see. Sticking all my eggs in a row, so when they hatch, all my ducks will be in a row.
I thought you might be putting them all in the one basket.
Oh, pun time.
Now, have you got 6 or half a dozen there, Kate?
2, 4, 6, 8 right here. I got 2 of each. But I probably got, well, I've turned more than that. It's just how many I brought to put in here. I have a box out there with quite a few of each. Let me see here. Can I switch my camera around?
As long as you don't pull a Cade.
That's off. Well, I'll just switch this around here. Let me see. Where's the camera? There. Oh.
Whoops, too high. That's
I'm
it.
getting seasick.
There we are. Okay.
Stop.
So it goes chicken eggs, then pheasant eggs, then quail eggs, then these tiny things over here are your Vivian hummingbird egg. And they're 8 millimeter diameter, 12 millimeter length.
And they take longer to turn than the chicken eggs do.
Not really.
Howdy, Sid.
Maybe a few seconds. Here.
Always
the
find
chicken
smaller
egg.
things take longer to do than others.
Yeah, well, I did look up all the sizes and everything, so I had my calipers out and everything to get them the actual sizes, dimensions of each. So your chicken egg is 62 millimeters length, 43 millimeter diameter. Your pheasant egg is 45 millimeter in length, 30 millimeter in diameter. Your quail egg is 35 millimeter length and 27 millimeter diameter. And then your Vivian hummingbirds are 12 millimeter length and 8 millimeter diameter. I'm going to turn some python eggs tomorrow. Anaconda and python eggs.
And have you got real ones to take samples off from them?
The pythons and boas? Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh, right.
But not an anaconda yet. My anaconda don't want none.
And how do you find the one-way lathe? I've never used one.
Oh, I love it. It's great. It's very sturdy, heavy. The big tube in the center takes away all the vibration.
Yeah.
And I bought it once, cried once, so I got it with all the bells and whistles it comes with. So I think it's all in all together with everything on it, it's probably, I don't know, 1,600 pounds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or so, 16 to...
Mere baby compared to my 5-ton one.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It was heavy to get down here. I had to come down in pieces.
They're heavy to get anywhere. Good day, Sid. How are you?
Hey, Sid.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like it. I got the one-way and I got 2 smaller generals for my students. My students don't see my one-way until they can prove to me that they're not going to put a gouge into my spur drive or into my chucks on my generals before they upgrade to the one-way.
Yeah.
Sort of my baby.
So here's an idea that I did last year. My wife and her kids, while her kids were growing up, they would always have one gold Easter egg that they would hide somewhere, and whoever found the gold Easter egg won the main prize. So last year I must have made probably 10 of them. And those were a big hit. I did some of these, and that was a big hit.
Cool.
And then There's
Silver
that.
one?
It's actually blue and gold,
Oh, cool. Very nice.
but
Oh, yeah, I like this.
there's a wax finish that Kim Tippin she was using for a time, and I tried it out, and this is really cool.
That's cool. Is it like a gilding wax or a Hampshire sheen?
No, it's like a gilding wax. It goes on really runny, and then I mean it dries that fast.
That's cool.
But those
They're
gold
very
eggs,
cool.
I bet you would be able to sell a bunch of those.
Speaking of which, now I actually did a couple golden eggs. I did a couple pheasant eggs in ash, and I used a gold impregnated iridescent paint, and I painted them so the grain lines really stand out. I only did 2 of them so far, but I was thinking about Jack and the Beanstalk when I made them. The golden eggs or the golden beans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see them being a good seller. I've never made those for this place. I've always done the different types of eggs. But I did do a few gold ones. I also picked up some silver of the same paint to do some silver ones too. But I just put finish on those, so I can't really pick them up unless I sort of try and show you my finishing table. I think I might be able to, let me see here, if I can get down and show you.
And Sid thought it might have been a bit hotter than that. Bit cooler at least, Jay.
Yeah,
They're
those
in
are cool.
little,
Wow.
thanks.
The
And they
goose
shimmer.
laid the golden egg, and you got the eggs.
I was going to say the goose that laid the golden egg.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here. Where they are.
Ah, there you go.
There they are. In a couple different boxes. And
Those plastic tubes don't leave a mark on them.
no, because I only put finish halfway up. I'll flip them and
Yeah.
put finish on the bottom later.
Yeah.
So the finish only is probably up to here.
Yeah, I think sometimes how to work out how to not mar the finish when you're doing it's the hardest part of the whole job.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And I turned these 2 boxes this morning for preparation for my demo on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
I just had to grab them from upstairs and hope they don't fall on me.
So, gentlemen, it looks like Tammy just got home, so I'm going to back out of here. You guys all have a good evening.
Yeah,
Thanks,
same to
you
you,
Blair.
Blair.
Take care.
Thanks for coming in, Blair. Take it easy.
See ya.
So here's one.
Oh, yeah.
The bottom is sycamore. Pretty plain. The finial is Verawood. And I did one in maple. Here's maple with bloodwood. All done with the skew. Yeah,
Very
all
nice.
turned with the skew.
Wow.
Kind of cute. Guess I can show you the inside too. Oh, I'm back.
pretty much it. For me, I did those this morning just to practice prep, set up my camera, see all my angles and stuff. I'll be doing probably dress rehearsals tomorrow. Oh, actually, no. Tomorrow, I'm getting a haircut. They finally opened the barber.
That's what I've been waiting for.
So you're gonna leave that little bit on the back, or you're gonna get that off too?
Well, that goes sort of the whole way like a mohawk.
Oh, okay.
all the way back down. So I might keep the mohawk part, but I'll shave the sides again.
Cool. I was just messing with you, Kate.
Yeah, no worries.
I just see that when you turn around.
Yeah. It's back to the mohawk.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I used to spike it, but you need so much paste and glue nowadays.
Yeah, just go get some Gorilla stuff. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that Gorilla Glue, and then do a GoFundMe page and get $23,000 for being an idiot. Must be nice.
Yeah.
Right.
I gotta try that out.
Leave.
Saw that on the news today. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're that dumb? You start a GoFundMe page because you glue your hair to your head and all of a sudden you're 20 grand richer? That's like, I don't know.
But have you seen the other ones? Like you can use Gorilla duct tape for the Brazilian look if you want to.
Yeah, you could.
There's other ones that have been coming out like KY jelly, like substitute for KY jelly, you know, guaranteed to be stuck for life.
My buddy sent me something here. I'll send it to you so you can check it out. I don't really want to say it over the
yeah, just put a link in.
So I'll share it to I don't know, Jay and Jameson, and they can share it to.
Yeah. I don't, some of the things he shares me, Robbo, I'm not sure if it's value for a live, Maybe
You
on
love
RedTube.
On Reddit?
Yeah, RedTube, you know? Or Pornhub or something like that.
You're frozen,
Well,
Cade, by the way.
I was just going to say, I think I've had too much tea drinking. Cade's kind of fallen over, or my eyes have rolled over the wrong way.
Yeah.
What did you say, Robbo?
Nothing. It was Dr. Bob.
It was commenting like Jay fell over. But at least he fell over with a smile on his face. We can remember him that way. He's alive again. It's a miracle.
Was I frozen or something? I could hear you guys muffling in the background, but
yeah, you were.
It wasn't all that
sideways.
That clear.
Yeah, and you were sideways like that.
Oh, doing a handstand, doing my Pilates.
He was laying down on the job again.
Yeah.
You can see yourself on instant replay over and over and over again because it always stays on YouTube.
Seriously, what are you doing?
Okay. I sent it to Dr. Bob and Jay. I couldn't find Jameson. For some reason it didn't pop up your name when I typed your name in there.
Might not have spelled it right.
Yeah, maybe. Probably not.
Hi.
Hello?
No, it was Jameson calling me. Oh, I had to look at my phone and then it popped up on my tablet right in the middle.
Yeah.
I How you doing?
No, you were calling me.
I
It's
was texting you. Must have hit the wrong button.
it won't let me send it to Robbo for some reason. I don't know why. It comes up failed to send. Operation could not be complete, and it does that. I've tried it 4 times.
All right, Sid, you take care too. He's off.
Take care, Sid.
See you, Sid.
Yeah. Back to work, you mongrel. Earn your money that I'm paying for. Hey, Cade, when you finish that, you can come to my place.
All right.
Might need a bigger broom for Robo's place, though.
Yeah.
Do we have to record that for his missus so she's got evidence? So Kate's got evidence, rather? No?
Oh, just rerun the YouTube. We can mark it what time market starts and ended.
Oh, yeah, 78 bags of sawdust I took out the other day in the end.
Ooh. Repurposed wood.
Lots of few. I delivered about 20 to a zoo the other day.
Sorry, what was that, Cade?
I delivered 20 to a zoo the other day.
Oh, yeah.
But every couple weeks or so, I deliver a van full of shavings to a small zoo just north of me.
Uh-oh.
And they
Temperature
use it
says
for
that
all
you
the
cook
animal
an
bedding.
egg on the shed roof.
No, it's
More
been
so
in
than
my
we-
shed.
How hot is it now? 30?
G'day, Marley.
Hey,
Howdy, Marley.
hey
He's
Marley.
out of bed, like all teenagers. Or
Oh,
teenage
snap.
wannabes.
Oh,
He's not a
Save
teenager
it.
yet. Got another
I
12
know,
months to
so I
go.
said wannabe.
Yeah.
They think they are in their head. I know I've raised 4.
Cade fell over the other way this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we should greet him.
No, he probably can't see us because he's frozen again. The phone doesn't like going on the side because it can't adjust the picture probably, like when you turn the phone over to get a wider screen.
Yeah.
He says hello all in the chat.
So Marley, what did you make today? If you're a maker, what were you making?
Oh, Cade's done a Cade now. He's disappeared. They're talking behind our backs there, Jay.
Oh,
Yep.
yes, RJ, as I was saying, I put the devices. I don't want to say her name or I'll have a bunch of them answering.
All right.
That was Christmas presents. They wanted to be
Nice.
high tech, so I thought that would be a good present.
Yeah.
Because I've had my own. And now they're tricking their rooms out with lights and stuff like that tied to their computer. That's creativity.
Right.
But
Yeah, we've
yeah,
got that and some other devices like it.
I've stuck with the same platform because it's cheaper. Because once you buy a license for one of the music channels or systems that you have, to access as an app, uh, try to pick them that have a nice broad variety because the music you still got to pay for because it's all licensed music.
Yeah, welcome back, John.
Howdy, John. Welcome back.
Yes.
Paul, you must be sitting near the fan, are you, Jay?
Why?
Oh, it just suddenly went really loud on the fan, that was all.
It's because I took it off of mute.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't get back
Back.
there. I guess I was just out of the frozen for too long and it booted me. I was typing something in the chat quick and I got booted, but that's okay.
This time you were leaning the other way.
yeah.
I am this way.
Now you went that way. Yeah,
You were vertical, or yeah.
horizontal.
Horizontal.
You can't pretend you're in Australia, mate. Sorry.
Perpendicular. Be doing a handstand.
Yeah. I'm not doing any more turning today. It's too bloody hot.
Yeah, we kind of figured that.
We
Getting
comprehend.
toasty. Is it 40?
It's 41, and that's in the shade.
Oh, nice.
No,
Get
not
your
really.
tan on.
I got one of them already.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'll show you. You ready? Robbo's favourite.
What?
I went like this once before, and he goes, "Oh, don't show me your leg. What do I want to see your leg for?" I said,
You had the camera. You had the bloody camera up that close and it looked like your leg.
One little leg.
All
You
muscle.
hitchhike.
Well, then we ought to let you get inside where it's cool.
Yeah, you can if you want, or you can sit here and talk, and I can go inside.
Now, I think I'm going to call it a night. It's getting late here.
Yeah, you have to call it a day here. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah.
Too
For
late
Kate
here.
and I, it's after 11 at night.
Yeah, 11:20 here.
So we'll catch
All right.
you then tomorrow.
All right, everyone in the chat, thanks for coming in.
All right, see you all later.
Thumb the bum, thumb, 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 thumb.
Take it easy.